Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered, which of those distant smudges of light hides the biggest galaxy in existence? Not just a large one, but a true cosmic giant, so vast that our entire Milky Way would look like a single glittering pearl lost in its endless ocean of stars. Tonight, we'll drift into that mystery. A slow, gentle journey through space and time, where we'll uncover the truth about the largest galaxy ever found, and what secrets it keeps in its colossal heart. Close your eyes for a moment, and imagine floating beyond the Milky Way. The stars around you fade into a quiet haze, and what was once home, our beautiful spiral, now appears as a small whirlpool of light against an ocean of darkness. As you drift farther, galaxies begin to appear like islands scattered across an endless sea. Some are bright and tightly wound, others are faint, ghostly, almost invisible. And then, you see it. A monstrous swirl, so huge that it defies belief, the kind of structure that makes even the imagination tremble. This is IC 1101, a name that sounds more like a code than a world. But behind it lies one of the grandest creations in the known universe. Roughly 1 billion light-years away from Earth, in the constellation Virgo, this galaxy stretches across 6 million light-years. To put that in perspective, our Milky Way spans only about 100,000. That means you could line up 60 Milky Ways side by side, and they'd barely cover its width. It's not just big, it's beyond what the human mind can easily picture. Now, galaxies come in many shapes and personalities. Some are elegant spirals, like the Milky Way and Andromeda, arms curling gracefully around bright centers. Others are chaotic, irregular clouds of stars and dust, torn apart by collisions. But IC 1101 is neither delicate nor chaotic, it's a giant elliptical galaxy, smooth and pale, glowing like a lantern in the dark. Its light doesn't twist or spiral, it simply radiates outward, a calm, golden halo that seems eternal. But how does something like this come to exist? How does the universe create a structure containing over 100 trillion stars, while our Milky Way holds a mere 200 billion? To understand that, we need to travel back in time, billions of years into the universe's early history. Back then, galaxies were smaller, wilder, and constantly colliding. Imagine space as a crowded ballroom, where galaxies danced and crashed into one another, merging again and again. Each merger made a galaxy larger, heavier, and rounder, like cosmic snowballs gathering more mass as they rolled. IC 1101, scientists believe, was formed from hundreds, maybe even thousands, of these ancient collisions. Over billions of years, it absorbed its neighbors one after another, until it became the giant we see today. At its heart lies something even more fascinating, a supermassive black hole so huge that it may contain the mass of 40 billion suns. It's one of the largest black holes ever discovered. Everything within a certain radius, stars, planets, even light itself, is drawn toward it. Yet strangely, its enormous gravity doesn't make the galaxy chaotic. Instead, IC 1101 glows in a kind of quiet equilibrium, balanced between creation and destruction. The stars near the center orbit like fireflies caught in a slow whirlpool, while those in the outer regions drift silently through the galactic mist. If you could stand somewhere near its edge and look inward, though no surface truly exists there, you would see an ocean of light stretching farther than any eye could see. Each pinpoint of brightness a star, each cluster a system with its own history. You might even see faint ghost-like shapes where other galaxies were once swallowed whole, their remnants now just ripples in IC 1101's luminous sea. But this raises another mystery. Why did IC 1101 grow so enormous while most galaxies stayed modest in size? Astronomers think it has to do with its location, at the center of a massive cluster known as Able 2029. Galaxy clusters are cosmic cities, teeming with hundreds or thousands of galaxies bound together by gravity. The ones at the center are like monarchs, drawing in smaller ones from every direction. IC 1101 sits in such a throne, a gravitational hub where cosmic mergers never really stop. Even now, as you listen, faint streams of stars are still being pulled inward, disappearing into its endless glow. And yet, there's something haunting about this giant. Because while it's full of stars, it's not very bright compared to smaller galaxies. Many of its stars are old, yellow, and dying. There's very little new star formation happening there. You could say it's a galaxy in its twilight years, a cosmic elder, glowing softly with the memory of youth. The gas and dust that once fueled creation have long been used up or scattered. What remains is silence, calm, and light fading gently into the void. Astronomers sometimes describe it as a fossil of the universe, a record of ancient cosmic violence now resting in peace. Every faint star inside IC 1101 once belonged to something else, some smaller galaxy that collided and vanished. Together, they tell a story of growth through destruction, how the biggest things in the universe are often born from chaos. If our Milky Way were to one day fall into such a galaxy, it would disappear without a trace. Its spiral arms would dissolve, its stars spread thin, and all that would remain is a faint whisper of light within a greater whole. It's a humbling thought, that everything we know, our sun, our earth, every memory and moment, could one day become just another fleck of starlight in something larger. But that's also the quiet beauty of the cosmos. It reminds us that even in vastness, there is connection. Every galaxy, big or small, is a piece of the same grand puzzle. The story of IC 1101 is not just about size, it's about the universe's endless hunger to build, merge, and evolve. And somewhere within that pattern, amid the dark and the light, is us, watching, wondering, and slowly trying to understand. If you've enjoyed drifting through this hidden corner of the cosmos with me tonight, take a moment to breathe, relax, and let your mind wander among the stars. And if you'd like to keep exploring more of these bedtime mysteries of science and space, gently tap the like button and subscribe to the Sleepy Minds. It helps this journey continue, one quiet discovery at a time. If IC 1101 is the grandest galaxy we've seen, could there be something even bigger, something so distant or diffuse that it hides beyond our sight? The universe has a quiet habit of keeping secrets, and every time we think we've reached its edge, it whispers, "Not yet." Let's drift farther out, past the Virgo constellation, beyond the reach of our most powerful telescopes. Out here, light becomes ancient. The glow that reaches us has been traveling for billions of years, across expanding space, through dust, through time itself. What we see isn't the universe as it is now, it's the universe as it once was. Each galaxy is a time capsule, its light an echo from the past. And in those ancient echoes, astronomers have begun to notice something strange. Some galaxies appear far too large for their era. Billions of years ago, when the universe was still young and galaxies should have been small, there were already giants, massive, bright, and fully formed. It's as if the universe grew up faster than it was supposed to. These ancient giants challenge everything we thought we knew about cosmic evolution. One such enigma is a galaxy called Alcyonius, discovered not through visible light, but through radio waves. Unlike IC 1101, which shines brightly in optical telescopes, Alcyonius reveals itself as vast lobes of radio emission, stretching across 16 million light-years, the largest known radio galaxy ever detected. To the naked eye, it would be invisible. But if our eyes could see radio light, it would sprawl across the sky like a phantom. Alcyonius doesn't shine because of stars, it glows because of energy. Deep in its core sits a supermassive black hole, launching twin jets of charged particles into the void. These jets race outward at nearly the speed of light, inflating enormous bubbles that glow in radio frequencies. Over hundreds of millions of years, they expand into space, forming two ghostly lobes that dwarf even IC 1101 span. It's not a galaxy in the usual sense, it's a structure of power, born from invisible forces that sculpt the cosmos on unimaginable scales. When you think about it, it's humbling. Galaxies aren't just made of stars. They're made of motion, gravity, and energy fields that extend far beyond their visible light. What we see with telescopes is only the glowing skin of a much larger organism. The true size of a galaxy might stretch far beyond what we can measure, into invisible domains of magnetism, plasma, and dark matter. And that leads to another mystery. If IC 1101 is the largest visible galaxy, and Alcyonius is the largest radio galaxy, what about galaxies we can't see at all? The dark matter halos surrounding each galaxy are thought to be many times larger than the galaxies themselves. They are invisible cocoons of gravity, sculpting the universe behind the scenes. Without them, stars would drift apart, and galaxies wouldn't exist. These halos can stretch for millions, even tens of millions of light-years. Imagine floating in that invisible realm, a silent, cosmic web connecting everything. The dark matter doesn't glow or reflect light, but it bends it. It shapes how galaxies move and how light travels through the cosmos. If we could see it, the universe would look like a vast neural network, each glowing node a galaxy, each thread a bridge of dark gravity. Somewhere in that web, galaxies like IC 1101 might just be bright knots within even greater unseen giants. Scientists have even begun to wonder whether galaxies can merge into structures so immense that they blur the line between galaxy and cluster. There are faint, sprawling entities known as giant low-surface brightness galaxies, ghostly, dim, almost transparent. One of them, Malin 1, is about 10 times wider than the Milky Way but so faint that it was only discovered by accident. Its stars are spread thinly, like grains of dust drifting in a fog. When astronomers first found it, they thought it couldn't be real, something that big shouldn't be so quiet. Malin 1 teaches us something profound: the universe is not only filled with what we see, but with what we can't. The largest structures might be invisible simply because they shine too softly for our instruments to catch. The cosmos hides its enormity behind darkness, like a secret whispered just beyond hearing. And as we drift through this ocean of galaxies, another truth begins to form. The largest galaxy may not be a single entity at all, but a part of something larger still. Entire clusters of galaxies, thousands bound together, form superclusters, enormous filaments of light that stretch across hundreds of millions of light-years. Our own Milky Way lives within one of these, the Laniakea supercluster, a name that means immeasurable heaven. It's so vast that light would take 500 million years to cross it. Within Laniakea, our galaxy is just a ripple, flowing through a gravitational river toward a region called the Great Attractor. So, perhaps the question isn't, what is the biggest galaxy, but, where does one galaxy end, and another begin? Out here, everything blends into everything else. The boundaries are soft, the connections invisible but real. Galaxies aren't isolated islands, they're stars in a cosmic archipelago, linked by gravity, dark matter, and time. And in this infinite interconnection lies a quiet comfort. Even the biggest galaxy is not alone. It's part of a greater whole, just as our Milky Way is part of Laniakea, and we are part of the Milky Way. From the grandest structures to the smallest particles, everything in the universe shares the same story: expansion, connection, and change. When you think about that, it almost feels alive. The universe breathes, slowly, endlessly. Galaxies form, grow, merge, and fade, like cells in a living organism. IC 1101 may be one of the universe's greatest cells, a glowing heart in a cosmic body too large for us to comprehend. And just as a single cell holds the history of life within it, each galaxy carries the memory of the cosmos, stars born from the same ancient hydrogen that once filled all of space. The same atoms that shine in IC 1101 stars exist within you, within your blood, your breath, your bones. The largest galaxy in the universe is not truly far away. In a quiet way, it's part of you. Take a deep breath, and let that thought sink in. You are made of stardust from a universe that still expands, still creates, still whispers its story through light and gravity. If you're enjoying this journey through the hidden universe, remember to stay close. Like and subscribe to the Sleepy Minds, and let's keep traveling together, softly, one discovery at a time. There's a strange stillness to the end of things in the universe. Galaxies don't die with explosions or sudden collapses, they fade, slowly, quietly, like the last ember of a fire that once burned bright. And even the largest of them, the great cosmic titans like IC 1101, are no exception. If we could somehow watch IC 1101 over the next few trillion years, we'd see a kind of gentle aging take place. Its brilliant center, once alive with billions of glowing suns, would grow dim. Star formation would stop completely, and its outer edges would dissolve into the expanding darkness. The once golden halo of light would fade to gray, and the galaxy would become a ghost of its former self, a silent monument to what once was. This isn't just IC 1101's fate. It's the destiny of nearly every galaxy in the universe. The process has already begun. Galaxies are running out of gas, the raw material needed to make new stars. Each generation of stars burns hydrogen into helium, and eventually, the fuel becomes scarce. Some stars explode, scattering heavy elements into space, but the cycle isn't endless. Over time, less and less material remains to form new suns. The universe, once bursting with creation, is slowly growing quiet. In the far future, galaxies like IC 1101 will no longer sparkle with the light of youth. They'll glow faintly with the red and orange light of dying stars. Their supermassive black holes, once powerful and active, will calm, no longer fed by infalling matter. Even their enormous radio lobes, those ethereal extensions of energy, will vanish, leaving nothing but silence. But before that final calm, something beautiful and terrifying will happen. Galaxies will continue to merge. They always have. Gravity is patient, infinitely patient. Over unimaginable spans of time, clusters of galaxies will collapse inward, drawn together by their own mass. IC 1101, already the monarch of its cluster, will likely consume what remains around it. One by one, the smaller galaxies of the Able 2029 cluster will fall toward it, their stars pulled into its endless glow. This is the ultimate endgame of galactic evolution, the merging of everything nearby into one final, colossal structure. Scientists call these CD galaxies, or central dominant galaxies. They are the result of countless collisions, each one adding another layer of starlight. It's poetic, in a way, creation through destruction, growth through loss. By devouring its neighbors, IC 1101 becomes something larger, more luminous, yet also lonelier. Eventually, if given enough time, it may become the last shining beacon in its region of space. Beyond it, everything will drift away, carried by the expansion of the universe. The galaxies once visible in the night sky will slip beyond the cosmic horizon, their light stretched into invisibility. IC 1101 will remain, alone, floating in the cold dark, a single island in a sea that no longer has shores. But what happens after even that? What does it mean for a galaxy to truly die? In the most distant future, trillions of years from now, even the stars themselves will fade. The smallest, slowest burning red dwarfs will eventually exhaust their fuel. The universe will enter what astronomers call the degenerate era, a time when no new stars are born, and the cosmos is filled with only remnants, black holes, neutron stars, and cold, dead spheres of carbon. Galaxies will no longer shine, they'll become invisible in every sense. Yet even then, the story isn't quite over. The black holes at the hearts of these ancient galaxies will still lurk, quietly shaping the space around them. They may merge again and again, forming even greater singularities. Some theories suggest that, in the farthest future imaginable, the universe will be a dark sea dotted only with black holes, slowly evaporating through a process called Hawking radiation. It's strange, isn't it? The largest galaxy we know, born from countless collisions and brilliant bursts of creation, will one day dissolve into nothing, its light stretched into eternity. But there's a quiet kind of peace in that thought. The universe doesn't rage against time, it flows with it. Everything expands, evolves, fades, and transforms into something new. If we could somehow observe that far future, we might see IC 1101 not as an object of loss, but as a whisper of everything that ever was. Every atom in its stars once belonged to something else, to smaller galaxies, to interstellar gas clouds, to the hearts of ancient suns. The same atoms that drifted through those cosmic collisions are the same atoms that exist within us. We are, in a way, made from the light of dying galaxies. And perhaps that's the most mysterious truth of all: even when galaxies die, they don't truly vanish. Their matter, their energy, their gravity, all remain part of the cosmic fabric. Nothing is ever truly lost, it just changes form. The death of a galaxy is only the next chapter in the universe's long, unending story. Astronomers sometimes talk about the heat death of the universe, the point where everything has spread out so evenly that no energy differences remain, no light, no movement, no time as we understand it. It sounds final, like a cosmic full stop. But even that may not be the end. Some physicists believe new universes could bud off from the remains of the old, like seeds forming from the ashes of a dying tree. If that's true, then perhaps somewhere, in a new cosmos born from the quiet of this one, new galaxies are already beginning to glow. It's a beautiful cycle, a cosmic heartbeat that never truly stops. As we float here, between thoughts of life and endings, between creation and silence, remember that we are part of this same unfolding. The light that travels across billions of years to reach your eyes tonight began in galaxies like IC 1101. It crossed unimaginable distances just to remind you, softly, quietly, that the universe is alive, and that you are part of its story. So next time you look up at the night sky, know that those tiny specks of light are the universe remembering itself. Galaxies are not just clusters of stars, they are memories written in light, drifting endlessly through time. And among them, somewhere far, far away, the biggest of them all still shines, for now, as the grandest whisper in an ever-expanding dream. If this gentle exploration brought you a sense of calm and wonder, you can help this journey continue. Take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the Sleepy Minds, and keep joining me as we uncover the hidden universe, one slow, mysterious story at a time. Picture the universe not as a random scattering of galaxies, but as something living, something that breathes and stretches across unimaginable distances. What if all those galaxies, from tiny spirals to cosmic giants like IC 1101, were part of a single grand design, a hidden structure so vast that even the largest galaxies are just small points within it? Astronomers call it the cosmic web, and it might just be the most breathtaking revelation in all of modern cosmology. It's not a single galaxy or even a single cluster, but the entire skeleton of the universe, a network of invisible filaments that weave through space, connecting everything. Imagine strands of light stretching for billions of light years, forming an intricate, three-dimensional web. In the gaps between these filaments lie immense cosmic voids, dark and empty, where galaxies are few and far between. If you could step outside the universe and look down upon it, you wouldn't see a flat map or a scattering of stars. You'd see something that looks almost biological, a vast neural network of glowing threads. The filaments are made of galaxies, gas, and dark matter, all bound together by gravity. Between them lie the voids, silent and empty, like the spaces between cells in a cosmic body. And in this grand design, galaxies like IC 1101 sit at the crossroads, the nodes of the web, where many filaments converge. They're like bustling intersections in the universe's invisible city, collecting material and merging with smaller galaxies drawn in from the surrounding threads. This is why such giants form at all. They live where the cosmic highways meet, where gravity builds up and feeds them endlessly. To grasp how immense this web truly is, consider this: one filament can stretch across hundreds of millions of light years. The entire structure of the universe, the cosmic web, spans tens of billions. Every galaxy you've ever heard of, every star that's ever shone, every black hole and nebula and planet, they all live along these glowing veins of creation. The idea that the universe is structured this way only began to emerge in the last few decades. Before then, astronomers thought galaxies might be scattered more or less randomly. But as telescopes became more powerful, they started to map the positions of hundreds of thousands of galaxies. When they connected the dots, a pattern appeared: clusters forming filaments, filaments forming walls, and between them, vast, almost empty voids. The largest of these structures is known as the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall, a titanic chain of galaxies and galaxy clusters stretching more than 10 billion light-years across. It is, quite possibly, the largest known structure in the observable universe. Just think about that for a moment. 10 billion light-years. That means the light we see from one side of it has been traveling for 10 billion years just to reach us, and it still hasn't crossed the entire thing. This wall is so enormous that some scientists argue it shouldn't even exist. According to the standard model of cosmology, structures that big shouldn't have had enough time to form since the Big Bang. And yet, it's there, a silent contradiction glowing in the deep night of the cosmos. When you picture something like IC 1101, it already feels incomprehensibly large. But now imagine that galaxy, 6 million light-years wide, as just one faint spark inside this colossal wall of galaxies. It's like comparing a single grain of sand to a mountain. The cosmic web dwarfs everything. It's humbling to realize that even our grandest structures are still only threads in something bigger. The universe, it seems, doesn't build things in isolation. It builds hierarchies, galaxies within clusters, clusters within superclusters, superclusters within webs. And beyond that web, we simply don't know. The observable universe may just be one bubble in a greater cosmic foam, a multiverse of webs upon webs, endless and repeating. But within the visible one, there's a strange kind of rhythm. Matter flows along the filaments, pulled toward the densest regions. Over billions of years, galaxies drift slowly through these cosmic highways, migrating toward the nodes where they merge and evolve. You could think of it as a kind of slow cosmic current, flowing so gently that even at its fastest, it takes billions of years for a galaxy to move along its path. And here's something even more extraordinary: the pattern of the cosmic web looks eerily similar to the structure of neurons in the human brain. When scientists compared the mathematical properties of both, how connections form, how clusters emerge, they found striking similarities. On vastly different scales, both follow the same natural rules of organization. It's as though the universe uses the same blueprint for galaxies that it does for thoughts. That resemblance invites an almost spiritual question: could the cosmos itself be conscious in some way? Not in the human sense, but as a vast, self-organizing system of energy and matter, learning, evolving, expanding. We don't have the answers, but the idea itself makes the night sky feel a little more alive. Every galaxy, every cluster, every filament could be a part of a grander thought, a single moment in the slow dream of the universe. And within that dream, we find ourselves. Our tiny Milky Way floats along one of these filaments, part of the Laniakea supercluster, our local branch of the web. From this distant perspective, we're not separate from the cosmos at all. We're a connection point within its vast network, a small, glowing neuron inside an infinite mind. As the light from distant galaxies travels toward us, it carries whispers from across this cosmic web. Each photon that reaches your eye tonight has journeyed through billions of years and countless interwoven filaments. In a sense, the universe has been speaking to us all along, through gravity, through light, through the slow movement of galaxies. We just had to learn how to listen. So, the next time you gaze into the dark sky, imagine not emptiness, but connection. Every star, every faint glow, every shadow between them, all of it is part of the same web, the same story, the same living architecture. You're not just looking out into space, you're looking through it, through the threads that hold existence together. And maybe, somewhere along those glowing strands, far beyond IC 1101, the universe is still weaving new galaxies, new stars, new beginnings. The cosmic web isn't finished, it's still forming, still breathing. And we are part of that breath. If this calm exploration through the hidden structure of the universe has left you in awe, remember to gently like this video and subscribe to the Sleepy Minds, where we'll keep traveling together, softly, into the quiet mysteries that lie beyond the stars.